Okay guys, you're welcome to my channel. Let's discuss something very important. So today we're talking about consensus algorithms. Okay, what is consensus? Consensus has to do with, okay, how do we agree that what has actually happened is valid? So we're trying to validate something that has already happened in the blockchain space. Transactions, okay, how do we confirm them? So there are many ways to which we can actually reach an agreement in the space, because okay, you're moving money from Peter to Paul. So in the centralized world, your banks, okay, Peter's bank confirms it, sends a message to the bank of Paul, and there are certain protocols they have to follow and the rest of them. Since we are in a decentralized world, there are no banks. Okay, who confirms these transactions? Then that is what we're talking about. So the way we now agree that the transaction is valid is what we call the consensus. So there are different ways to which we can actually reach this consensus. So like we have the blockchain, then you now have stuff like IOTA. IOTA is the Tango. And then you now have hash graphs, and then there's what called holochain, and then you now have other stuffs. So, but we'll be focusing on the blockchain, but we'll be discussing two particular algorithms that I really want to bring to our attention. So let's talk about some of the ways we can actually reach consensus in the blockchain. Now, like if you see CoinDesk, one of the ways is proof of stake. No, let me use CoinGecko. Now, CoinGecko, you have proof of cooperation, proof of importance, proof of research, proof of stake time, proof of velocity. There are many proofs. There are many coins like there was a coin I researched. It talks about the proof of replicability, replicability, and the rest of them. You have proof of activity, proof of bond, proof of capacity, proof of elapsed times, and there are many of them. Many of them differ from one another, and the rest of them. So, but we'll be talking about proof of stake, which is POS, then versus proof of work, where Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency to use a consensus algorithm. Is the first of them, and it's using a consensus algorithm called the proof of work. So what that basically means is, let's say for example, you are in your math class and you solved let's say they placed in a kind of equation, a polynomial equation, as maybe objective. Okay, you have to give your answer in A or B or C, multiple choice, and then you could pick an answer even without knowing about that particular problem, and it could be correct, but show it. So you have to give proofs by solving some those math problem. Then you can say, okay, yeah, it's actually true. So what Bitcoin actually does is, there are some okay, something that's already happened in the space. How do we now validate it? So there are some certain math problems of which those who have the hardware and then the software can try and solve within themselves. So that is what proof of work is. So you have to put certain type of work when it comes to time, energy, like consuming power, and then software and some other stuffs. And then we talk about the proof of stake. So proof of stake has to do with stake. What is stake? It means that you have a certain, it's like having you have a company and Ethereum uses it, but they've improved on it. They've now brought Hashflare. We'll discuss that in a much later video. So, but what basically happens, the coins that use proof of stake basically is they have a stake in that particular coin. So let's say they have a certain percent of the coins, and then they hold these coins, and because they have a certain percent in this coin, let's say they have 5% of a particular coin that uses proof of stake. So it means that they will be able to authorize 5% of transactions that happens in the network. Now, you've heard of what they call the 51% attack. So the 51% attack is basically someone who have, let's say, it happens with Bitcoin. Now, someone who have this hardware, like you've been hearing like China, they have a large stake when it comes to mining, and recently they've been banning mining. The government has been complaining that it takes too much power in the rest of them. So someone who has these large resources can control a large portion of the consensus, which is not really good. But when you compare, but with proof of stake, you cannot really do that, because for you to buy 51% of a particular coin, it's like buying 51% of Ethereum. It's you have to be very, very, very wealthy. Okay, let's talk about the pros and the cons of proof of work and then proof of stake. So for proof of work, the first thing that is the energy consumption, the time, which has to do with the resources. So it takes a lot of time to actually mine a block, and then we will not be explaining the technical side. So you just understand the basics. That is the goal. So it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of energy, consumes a lot of energy to actually mine a block. That is one of the drawbacks with this with the subs. And then proof of stake is, depending on what actually happens most time, something like Ethereum. If someone had Ethereum said with proof of work initially, before they switched to proof of stake, then before they now switch to Hashflare. So what basically happens is, Ethereum was selling for 35 cents. So someone could basically buy a large chunk of Ethereum. If someone has a lot, let's say someone bought, how much will it cost a billionaire like let's go to CoinMarketCap and let's see Ethereum. Okay, what's the circulating volume? The circulating volume is 96 million. Okay, so let's say the person bought with the ICOs. I don't know how many it is. So let's say 10 million. Just giving, I don't know if it's possible. So with 3.5 million, someone should be able to buy a lot of Ethereum. And then if you look at the chart, the price, okay, even at $1 something, someone can still buy 10 million again. So the drawbacks with proof of stake is, it means that if someone who is very, very wealthy maybe pumps $10 million into the stocks, they can own a large. So meaning at this point now, 75 cents now. So 75 cents, someone can still buy another 10 million again. So meaning that person has a large chunk of it, and you're able to control a large percent of the transactions. However, many other platforms have a lot of stuff that makes them very, very unique. Okay, let's quickly talk about hashgraph. So what hashgraph basically now, for your notice, hashgraph, they are not working, they are not doing any ICO. So what hashgraph basically does is, hashgraph works with what they call gossip. So it says, okay, this is a gossip, this is a gossip, this is a gossip, this is a gossip, this is a gossip. Okay, how valid is this gossip? How long has this gossip been? And then from there we can go on and on and on and on. So we'll be explaining in depth what is hashgraph, and then I'll be explaining what they call this thing. I'll be explaining hashgraph for you from the issues of the asynchronous disruptive fault tolerance, and then we're talking about what they call 51% attack. I just talked a little bit about that. Then in much other videos I'll be talking about the simple attacks, and then we'll be talking a lot of stuff from captcha or POS, talking about iota tango, we'll be talking about holochain. So there is a lot of stuff to learn in the crypto space, from blockchain, consensus, ICOs, market prices, centralization, decentralization, and the government, and many other stuff. So guys, I hope this video has been very, very helpful when learning the different ways consensus is being done in the blockchain. So like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Do have a very good day.